Okay, so what's numeracy? Alongside literacy, numeracy is probably the other, big phrase people hear a lot. We talk about wanting to develop literacy and numeracy amongst young people. And if literacy is basically about language and about words, then numeracy is quite simple. Numeracy is about numbers. And for a lot of people, that starts to feel quite reassuring. It's this kind of back to basics, reading, writing, arithmetic kind of thing. School just teach kids how to read and write and count and just do that properly. You do, but numeracy is much more than just the ability to say to count. It's more than just a kind of a basic ability to do simple arithmetic, for example. Curriculum for Excellence actually offers a bit of a definition of this one, and it says that if we are numerate, we have developed the confidence and competence in using numbers, which will allow individuals to solve problems, analyse information, and make informed decisions based on calculations. The key phrase there is about using numbers. And I think that's probably the best way to understand what we mean by numeracy, what it means to be numerate. It is more than just knowing things, and it is more than the ability to just kind of mechanistically go through kind of basic processes. Numeracy is actually organised, it's organised in all different ways, but within Curriculum for Excellence, one of the key documents there categorises it into 8 specific categories, and they are estimation and rounding, number and number processes, that includes addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. Fractions, decimal fractions and percentages, money, time, measurement, data and analysis, and the final one is ideas of chance and uncertainty. So I think you get a sense from that about the range and the scope of all this. And if we have a very, very quick blast through a few of the experiences and outcomes that we use to structure the curriculum, you can see the scale of some of this stuff and you can see the range. So on screen just now, you're looking at the experiences and outcomes right from the start of the sort of numeracy section, basically. And you can see in there we're looking at estimation and rounding and number processes, and it's things like developing a sense of size or exploring numbers, and you can see how those initial concepts for 3 to 4, 5, 6-year-olds are then built upon over the years to produce fully numerate students. The one you're looking at now, that's, as it says, properties of 2D shapes and 3D objects, something that people maybe don't always understand as part of the kind of maths sphere, although it's actually pure mathematics, and that it's important to numeracy as well. So again, you can see this thing about starts with investigating objects and shapes, but it progresses all the way through and you end up in things like radiuses and diameters and circumferences that have these real world applications. There's data handling as well, which somebody like me, who's a big fan of all that kind of stuff, loves to see. And again, if you look on there just now, that's a very, very extensive experience and outcome there that takes you, or set of experiences and outcomes that take you through these different aspects and different levels of understanding and analysing, and ultimately from that manipulating and producing data. And so, like literacy, numeracy is one of the things in the curriculum that's the responsibility of all. And at first that can look really daunting sometimes, and I remember being an English teacher and being told numeracy was the responsibility of all, and you're like, right, so what, do I need to find a way to, figure out some sums out of my reading paper or something, But like with literacy across the curriculum, actually, with a bit of time and a bit of space, you start to see where lots of these cross-curricular links really are. There are lots of subject areas, lots of areas in general where you'll do things like basic calculations and measurements. There are other ones where maybe it'll be more based around like understanding and interpreting existing data. Other places might be more focused, or maybe more useful to focus on identifying patterns and sequences. That's something that can even come up in the English classroom. So numeracy is not just about counting. Numeracy across the curriculum is not just about finding ways to put sums into French classes, things like that, It's about much more than that. Numeracy is about the confidence to do things. Those are the key things. Confidence to do things with numbers. Yes, it's the back to basics of arithmetic, which matters. You need to be able to process numbers, you need to know your times tables, But it's also much, much more, and also massively important.